Taking a look at APE on the 4-hourly chart, the longer time frames are pretty much useless as there's not enough price history. You can see down here that we have found some support off of the 1618 level on the Fibonacci retracement. If we take a price range from the bottom here to this top, we've had a 90% move to the upside, so pretty decent. If you look here, it actually seems like we are forming a inverse head and shoulders pattern, similar to what Bitcoin is doing on the 4-hourly. If we take a price range from what would be the neckline to the head, we can extrapolate the price data upwards and say we break out around here. You can see it's actually targeting the 0.5 level on the Fibonacci retracement as well as this red box of resistance, and this is sitting around $17.50. Now, as I've mentioned in the past, I don't always like using these price targets as the price can really fall anywhere in between this zone before we find another rejection. Turn on the Ichimoku cloud and the EMA ribbon on the 4-hourly. You can see we've been interacting with the EMA ribbon relatively well, especially through this range right here. We did find a rejection out of it, but found support, making that second shoulder of the head and shoulders pattern, and we are currently testing again. But if we do break out of this, we have quite a large Ichimoku cloud ahead of us, which really isn't a good sign. If we do manage to move inside the Ichimoku cloud, the price really needs to make its way above it and test the top of it as support so we can see a move higher. And you can see that the top of this is sitting at that $17 mark I mentioned earlier. So we could very well see something like this, a move to $17, and then have a further move down. The 200 EMA on the 4-hourly is actually sitting in this smaller box of resistance. So again, we could come short here and then find another move down. It really all just depends, especially what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin finds that move to 41K, it could very well send this all the way up to the higher red box of resistance before we find the rejection. Taking a look at the hourly here, you can see that we've had a rejection of the Ichimoku cloud here, and it sent us further down. And actually, we have broken it to the upside here. Nothing too crazy of a move, but we have broken it, which is a good sign. We have also broken the EMA ribbon to the upside, another good sign. We really need to find support here off of the ribbon and break the 200 EMA to the upside. If we can do this and start trending higher, we could come up here to test the red box of resistance, or even the higher one, again at $17 before we have that move down. But really, in my opinion, the first big level that this is going to need to break are these previous lows right here, which is sitting at the 1 level on the Fibonacci retracement. So to sum things up here, if this is the bottom, at least for now, we could very well see a move all the way up to, say, $10 where these previous lows are before we find another rejection. At this point, this could be a retest of the neckline of the inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is pretty normal. Usually when we have a breakout of these, we come back down to retest the neckline before we trend higher. If we can break $10 to the upside and not fail the neckline of the inverse head and shoulders pattern, our next stop is likely going to be this red box of resistance, probably topping out around, say, $13 for the 786s. If we find resistance here and find support off of the 1 level, it could send us all the way up to that $17 mark I mentioned, which is sitting around the 0.5 level. And really this could top out anywhere within this red box of resistance, so all the way up to $18.50 or so. If we do break this 1618 to the downside, our next stop was likely at the 2618, which is sitting all the way down at $2.2. This is all I have for APE today. If you enjoyed this video, go hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, go and do so, as I try to post content daily. As always, this is not financial advice, and I'll see you in the next one.